Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of This is a Pepsi. Okay, I'm sick and tired of the Kennedy family. Sick and tired of the Kennedy family, but that's all they're talking about right now. And that's what's on the TV. So I wanted to tell you a tale, a true tale. You never know what I tell you if it's true or not, do you? But this is a true tale. We had escaped Franco in Spain and we moved to Germany. We only lived in Germany for about 5 months, so Deutschland. Most of our neighbors and friends were where else from Spain. Now, my BFF, best friend forever, Steffi, his parents were neither from Spain nor from Germany. His parents were from the former, as they say now, Yugoslavia. And now, he and his siblings were born in Germany, Deutschland. But the parents were from Yugoslavia. Anyway, so we had East Germany and West Germany. We, of course, lived in West Germany. And then there was East Berlin and West Berlin. Now, West Berlin was cut off from West Germany. And my parents wanted to go to West Berlin. But we couldn't go to West Berlin. Well, we could go to West Berlin. But there were only 2 ways to get there. One was on the train. They would black out the windows and they would stop the train sometimes and go through and pull people off and stuff like that. So anybody who wants to try and tell me that East Germany, the Eastern Bloc, was good, you don't know what you're talking about or you're a liar. So again, we wanted to go to West Berlin. The other way to get to West Berlin, aside from the train, was to fly in. Now you have to understand the time period. Air travel at the time was not as safe as it is today. DC-3s were still common. And I've been on more than my share of DC-3s. And if you watch one of, actually I think in a few videos I tell the story of how we were flying from Penticton, BC to Victoria, BC, and I'm sitting in my daddy's lap and we hit an air pocket and the plane goes down and I go up and my daddy has to grab me and pull me back to his lap. But the airport in West Berlin was, the sides of the runway were basically littered with wrecks. And because of my father's security clearance, he was not allowed to go on the train because there was a risk of the train being stopped, being searched, and you know, they would have pulled him off, they wouldn't have pulled my mother off. My mother had no security clearance. Although when she married my dad, they had FBI agents go to that little itty-bitty town in North Carolina and interview the neighbors, and yeah, they interviewed a lot of people. Yeah, and it's a small town, so word got around really fast. There are FBI agents in
They're lucky the farmers didn't greet him with a pitchfork.
Yeah. So anyway, flying into West Berlin was very risky. I would say the probability was that you would make it, you would be okay, but there was still a high percentage, I don't know what the actual percentage was, that the plane would crash. Number one, because air travel just wasn't as safe as it is today. Number 2, the runway, the whole airport there was very limited in size, and you're surrounded by the communists, and you don't want to crash in the east, because then, even if you survive, you may never be heard from again. You know, somebody made a good point on Facebook the other day. They were talking about the wall, and Reagan said, tear down this wall. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. A lot of people don't realize that most of the wall was actually gone at that point. It was in like the more urban and suburban areas that the wall was still truly intact, but in the more rural areas it had long since
torn down.
Yeah, long since been torn down. But like the person said, if you tried to cross over to West Germany, you would still be killed. So there was still a big risk. So just because in most of the rural areas the wall didn't exist anymore, there was still no man's land, which meant, if they caught you crossing no man's land, you get a bullet in the back of the head or something.
You better cross in the middle of the night, huh?
Well, even that, because they had lights and guards and
I make
dogs.
sure they were as far away as all that shit as possible.
Yeah, and I remember somebody defected, or I don't know if you really say defected, because it wasn't a political person. He was just a person who wanted to be free, in a balloon, a hot air balloon, that he did all this stuff at home, and he flew up and over the border. But
Surprised they didn't try to shoot him down.
yeah, I think it was a kind of a surprise. They were probably all looking like, what in the...
We're seeing things.
Yeah. But, yeah, so it would have been, just to be able to say, we went to West Berlin, it would have been nice if we could have gone, but my parents just weren't willing to take the risk on the train, and they were not willing to take the risk of flying in and possibly not surviving the flight. So, anyway, I think I'm going to provide you, if I can find them again, quotes from Che Guevara showing that Che Guevara was not a nice guy, and he was not this liberator that a lot of people want to say he was, and all that. But
it was a mess, huh?
Yeah, he was a murderer. He's a thief. He was from, I think, Argentina. I think one of his parents was actually Irish, which I'm like, really? But a lot of people don't even know that Che is a derogatory term, but we won't get into that. But anyway, so I just want to tell you about our little time, or why we didn't go to West Berlin. Bye-bye.